Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another season of RevHang. Season 5, Ben. Isn't that crazy?
We're so old. Does
We
that
are
mean we
so
started
old.
doing this when we were 21?
Yes. I mean, yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I was 20.
Oh, yeah. I always forget that you're younger
I
than
was
me.
almost 21.
You
but
give
yes.
off mature man energy.
Thanks, Ben.
I was going to say something else, and then I thought that sounded kind of weird. So.
Yeah, what you said didn't sound weird at all. We're so back.
We're so back. We've got a studio.
Yes.
Can we call it that?
We have an actual space with
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting right next to Ben.
Not in Nathan's lap.
Yeah.
We have a camera.
A full cam, like an
actual
camera.
camera.
Not on the phone anymore. We've got 2 studio lights now,
Ah.
as well as overhead lights.
Yeah.
What we don't have is a background.
We have an on-air sign with a super cool Plymouth Barracuda that I got from my uncle in Connecticut. He's Italian. He builds these. And then my Mustang and Dodge Viper, which are very cool. You know, the American muscle cars.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yes, that will fill up over time, as will hopefully the background. We've got a plan. I've got a plan.
Yeah.
I told Ben about it, so we'll
All it
get
takes
that
is one
together.
man with a dream.
It might take a few episodes or longer to get that together.
I was wanting to fit the Corvette in here, but
You
no
can't
luck.
fit the Corvette in here,
No.
but we will talk about the Corvette at some
Indeed.
point.
Eventually I'll have content in the Corvette, but that's a whole other thing. We're getting off track already.
We are. Last season, we did hint that in future seasons, including this one, there might be more people on the podcast after some deliberation. That may be the case, briefly, but it will still just be primarily Ben and I. Once the F1 season gets kicked off, we may introduce more people into the podcast to talk about some driver gossip as needed.
Yeah, we got to figure out this whole new format and setup and all that. So.
Yes, we do have a new format. We're going to be talking still about F1 and IndyCar, but much more collapsed and brief than in previous seasons.
It'll be much more of like a talking about automotive things that we like, because we like cars in general.
Yes.
And motorsport in general. And I mean, I like motorcycles too.
Yeah.
But not so much focused on like hitting specific topics, right?
Yeah.
But more just talking about the things related to vehicles and automotive and motorsport that we like.
Yes. So F1 and IndyCar will still be a recurring segment every week on the show. We will still do episodes revolving around the F1 calendar. So whenever there's an F1 race, that will be a week. There is an episode as per usual. Each episode will have racing to talk about. But as you will see in this episode, maybe not this episode because this is our prediction episode, but in future episodes, we're kind of just going to fly through the racing news. I'm not going to go through a long list of names like we used to do because I don't find that entertaining to edit or listen to.
There's more entertaining things about the races to talk about, for sure.
So if there are big talking points in the races, of course, we will dive more into that. F1 news, IndyCar news in general. But we're going to start talking about automotive news. We kind of dipped into this last year.
You can kind of tell that's what I really want.
But I think
if you can't tell,
it's going to be a bigger part of the show this season moving forward. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about this space. This is so great. It's a much bigger room. I know you can't see this on the camera. You might even be able to tell on the camera. Mm-hmm. But boy, oh boy, did Ben's room get very warm with a computer, 3 computers running, and both of us talking for an hour or more at a time. This is much better.
Yeah, the 9070 is an excellent space heater.
Yes, it is. So, without further ado, you will see how this season goes. We will see how this season goes.
It will not look the same now as it will at the end of the season.
I am 100% sure of that, yes.
But it'll dovetail into other stuff, so
yes,
it's very exciting.
It'll be fun, so let's get into it with some automotive news to start off our first episode of Season 5. We've got some major manufacturer recalls going on, including Ford and BMW in recent months.
Yes.
FOMOCO announced one of the largest recalls in U.S. history with 4.4 million vehicles across F-150s, Rangers, Super Duties, Mavericks, Navigators, Expeditions, and Transit models due to a software issue affecting their trailer brake lights. which obviously, if your trailer's brake lights are not working, even when they should be, especially when they should be, I should say,
Yeah.
that's not a great thing.
I mean, when it comes down to it, a lot of these vehicles and what you're towing, the vehicles are still a lot of the times bigger than what you're towing.
Yes.
So it's not a huge, I mean, obviously it is a huge issue. But I don't know, I feel like this is a good example of, and I'll probably have a rant on this later too. I'm collecting a collection of things that Ben wants to rant about, but over-the-air software updates are actually perfect for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is actually like a great reason to have a vehicle connected to like Wi-Fi or something like that. There's a lot of downsides, but it's kind of nice. You don't have to bring in your vehicle to a dealership, have to wait in a line, get an appointment scheduled, even for a 15-minute service just to get the software updated. I mean, hand in hand with that, we're seeing software updates that need to be done to fix cars with software issues, but that's actually kind of nice because I was thinking about it, and because I'd seen this actually, and I was thinking, oh, my dad probably might have this issue on one of his vehicles, but it's not really an issue because it has connected services, so
Yeah.
it's kind of neat.
It is pretty neat. BMW is another manufacturer that's having issues. Looks like 337,000-ish vehicles worldwide, including the 5 Series, 7 Series, i5, i7, and all the 5s and 7s.
Yes, the 5 and 7 series. Like you
having
said.
wiring harness installation problems that are posing fire risks. So I'm sure people don't want their beamers exploding.
I mean, that's what happened. Crucially, the 5 Series, 7 Series, all that stuff, they probably have miles upon miles of wiring because they're hybrids or PHEVs, especially
Yes.
M5.
Yeah.
Um,
So it's a large scale problem.
insert cruise ship horn here.
Yep. Also, earlier in February, BMW had a recall on 90,000 U.S. vehicles because of an engine starter component issue where it was overheating and also causing a fire risk.
That reminds me. I almost started a fire with my Corvette when I was working on it.
That sounds right.
Yeah. I'd never worked on a Corvette starter before, and I replaced it because it wasn't working. And I accidentally connected the starter solenoid switch to the R, which I forgot what the R stands for, but essentially it's like if you need it, you can connect the R terminal also to power, and that'll give it extra power if you need a boost for like a bigger engine. But if you connect the starter solenoid to the R, it shorts out through the main power on the starter. And luckily I had a fusible link on my battery terminal, but I cooked a battery terminal straight off.
Yikes.
Yeah. So I'm right there with you, BMW.
I'm sure we're
can
gonna
relate with that.
Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna talk about this more as the episode goes on. Did you buy your Corvette before the last time we recorded? When did you buy your Corvette?
I'm pretty sure I bought the Corvette.
I don't think so because I came and looked at it, but that was all we did.
No, I'm pretty sure I said that I bought the Corvette.
Did you?
I mean,
I guess we can look.
yeah, because it was like my Craigslist pick of the week ended up being what I bought.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I hadn't really got into it that much though.
Fair. Well, if we're remembering wrong, Ben did buy a 1980.
Oh yeah, I have an 81.
81.
Yeah,
81 Corvette.
83 was when I started the C4, so
That's
I
right.
have a late model C3. It is straight piped. It does have the quadrijet. I'll talk about it later.
Yes. Just so people aren't like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, I own a Corvette. It's pretty
He
cool.
owns a Corvette.
Goes from 0 to 60 in 8 seconds.
Yeah. Man, my Honda Civic can do better than that.
Yes, it can.
The one that I sold stupidly. All right, so moving on, the U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and NHTSA, if I can speak, opened a recall probe into about 600,000 GM vehicles for an engine failure issue.
Yes. Is this more 6.2 recalls?
I think so.
Excellent. Thank you. This is the third round, I think, if I'm remembering
Probably.
correctly.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Add the Toyota engine recalls to the list of that. It's kind of been an awful couple years for truck engines, actually.
It really has, yeah. Thanks, emissions laws. It's not the only reason, but
Yeah, poor manufacturing.
yes.
Thank you, Toyota, for putting a hyper boosted 3.4 liter V6 in your most reliable work truck. Surely that will not
Great
go
job.
wrong.
But it looks like recalls are increasingly due to software issues, kind of all over the board. Moving us into our second story. At CES 2026, Motor Trend highlighted leaders in software-defined vehicle innovation, reflecting how automakers are increasingly prioritizing in-vehicle software platforms that can differentiate customer experience and improve long-term revenue potential. Long story short, software is having more and more problems, and they're implementing more and more software.
Yes. Well,
Crazy.
yeah, it's. Can I go along on this one?
Go long on this one,
Oh,
Ben.
yes. Okay. So
You know more about
essentially,
this than I do.
like the automotive market, especially in the U.S., is so mature at this point. You have so many niches filled. I mean, if you want an example, you can look at like it's kind of a tired example because they came out with them a while ago, but BMW, for example, right? You
Yes.
have a sedan, and then you have the kind of hatchbacky sedan version of that sedan. You have the coupe version of that sedan.
Yep.
You have the SUV built off that platform. And essentially, you fill every single little niche, and every automaker is doing that. And more as regulations come in, regulations leave, market conditions change, what consumers want. Take like the mid-size 3-row SUV market, which makes up for 1 in every 8 cars sold, I think, is a mid-size 3-row crossover or SUV or crossover.
Yeah.
Every single manufacturer has one, and we're getting more manufacturers, not less. So
Yeah.
when it comes down to it, you can only make a wheel so many different ways before you have to start adding different colors to it and stuff like that.
It's fair. Yeah, that's true.
Because I mean, even between like the Honda Pilot, the Santa Fe, the
RAV4.
Telluride, the RAV4 is a different segment.
Oh, that's only 2 rows.
I got time for compact SUVs later.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, but like, there's only so many different options that the market will purchase, and people more and more are becoming software focused. Like, they want the screens with the nice software experiences because that's what they interact with most. People are on the road a whole bunch because people are moving further out of cities because there's less room in cities, and it's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. Society.
Because of society, yeah. That's why we're getting more software. But software is a cheap way, well, not cheap, but it's a changeable and scalable way for manufacturers to differentiate platforms that have very little room to move elsewhere because the problem has already been solved for most vehicle segments. That was the most eloquent thing I've ever said.
That was good stuff, Ben.
Okay.
Yeah. As you can tell, moving out of the racing and into the automotive general space, Ben is going to know a lot more than me now.
I have so many things to say.
Things are flipped. But yes, Ben is going to be educating me alongside you. I know a little bit, but Ben is very well
Also,
ingrained
educating
into
is a strong word for yapping.
yapping with educational things.
Ooh, yeah. Can I do this one?
Oh, you can absolutely do
so
this one.
Toyota Gazoo Racing, they released 2 new cars. Technically 3,
Yes.
because one has 2 submodels.
Okay.
But they rebranded alongside with that, so now they're just Gazoo Racing, as like a performance sub brand, because everybody has to have a performance sub brand and not just a trim level, obviously.
Obviously.
You saw
Except for Subaru, they needed to get rid of their performance sub
they
brand.
don't advertise that anymore. Yeah. It doesn't make them enough money.
You can get the STI branding in a
yes.
WRX, but it is not an STI. It's a,
STI
what, TS?
in
Is that what you're
WRX
calling it?
market does not have enough money to support their ambitions.
Fair.
But anyways, yeah, Toyota.
That's my rant. For yes.
Other rant. Yeah, they're rebranding. You kind of saw them move towards this with the Scion. It started out as the Scion FRS, then Scion died. They moved it to be the Toyota 86, and then became the GR the 86 and the GR86.
Wasn't it the
For Gazoo
GT86 before? It was a GR86.
It was the GT86.
Yeah.
Then it was just the 86, I think.
For like a year.
Yeah, and then it became the GR86.
Yeah.
Along with the GR Corolla, and then the Supra became the GR Supra. They
Yeah.
all kind of aligned under the Gazoo Racing moniker. And this is kind of an extension of that. Gazoo is kind of becoming a performance sub-brand, kind of like Toyota's wanting Crown to become a new luxury sub-brand.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird one.
Yeah. I mean, rich people will be having money no matter what happens in the economy. So
True.
that's why my Ferrari stocks are up, because rich people will always be able to afford Ferraris.
That's
They will not look at
true.
the economic downturn or the horrors and say, no, I shan't. No. If they want a Ferrari, they're going to buy a Ferrari.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
Toyota wants some of that money. So Gazoo Racing and Crown are kind of an example of that. But the two new cars are cool. The LFA is kind of coming back as a full EV, which is fine. I like how it looks. And then we're getting two twin-turbo V8 models. One I think is hybridized and one is not. I think that's the main differentiation, right?
Into which car? Or just in general?
Into the GRGT.
Oh, the GRGT?
Didn't you see the GRGT?
I saw briefly the GRGT, yes.
You know, the
Is that the
GRGT.
thing you're talking about that's the LFA, but the new one?
No, the LFA is different.
That's-
They showed off a concept for the LFA. But these are separate cars. It's not a hybrid and a twin turbo. It's a GT and a GT3
Got
car.
it. Okay.
They look sick.
Those
They look pretty cool.
do look pretty cool.
Twin turbo V8. I have the utmost.
Yeah, I haven't read into this very much. So
It's pretty cool.
you know a lot more about this than I do. But
Yeah.
the LFA I did read about, and it being all electric, like, is this where I pull the Sebastian Vettel bring back the V10s line?
Yeah, that's never gonna happen. It's like the
No.
Supra and people being mad that it has a BMW engine. If BMW didn't say, here, you can have an inline six to put in your sports
We
car,
would not have a Supra. No.
nobody would have an inline six Supra that they could buy brand new from a dealership.
Who makes
At
inline
all,
sixes
so.
anymore, other than like Porsche's flat sixes?
BMW, Mercedes is leaning back into inline sixes. Actually, they put them in their AMG 53 cars. Mazda has been making inline six
Industry
motors
six?
recently. Yeah,
In
for
what?
the CX-70 and the CX-90.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
And then Chevy makes the inline six diesel for the 1500. It's a great motor. It's actually probably one of the best half-ton truck motors out there right now. It gets like 30 miles to the gallon highway.
Really?
Yeah,
That's pretty
it's
crazy.
insane. Inline sixes are actually coming back a little bit because they're a lot smoother than V6s,
Yeah.
and they're
That's true.
scalable off inline four architecture, which is why the V6 came around, is because it was scalable off of a V8 architecture. And as more and more companies move to inline fours, it's much nicer to be able to have a family of motors based off of a single architecture.
Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
That makes sense. Well, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was a resurgence.
indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mercedes is actually walking back a lot of their inline four PHEV models that people hated for inline sixes and potentially even V8s. But the inline six AMG cars, I feel like, are actually kind of a sweet spot right now.
Yeah. I know it's, going the opposite direction, but I would love it if we got more wacky engines, like the GR Corolla's
The
3-cylinder,
3-cylinder,
and like
yeah.
the 5-cylinder in the Audi S3.
Yeah,
Oh man,
the 5 cylinders are cool.
those are super.
I think
super
we will
cool.
see more 3 cylinders though,
Yeah, probably.
because
Cool.
I mean Ford uses a 3-cylinder as one of their mainstream motors. 1.5 liter 3-cylinder. It's in the Bronco Sport Ford Escape,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's actually not
Didn't
terrible.
they discontinue the Escape now? Isn't that
The
going
Escape?
away?
Nah, brother.
No. Where did I thought I thought they were no longer doing the Escape.
At least I don't think so.
I know the Focus is gone.
Well,
That's been gone. Otherwise, I'd be buying a Focus RS this summer instead of.
you could
anything
still
else.
buy a Focus RS.
Yeah,
you
but I
just
want a
have to get
new
one
car.
without a warranty.
I want a new car
Yeah.
with a warranty. So, let's talk about some cars that are coming up, which we kind of dipped into with the GRGT. We've
Mhm.
got the Ferrari. What is that? Luce is probably how you say that.
Luce? Yeah, probably.
Which is Ferrari's first production electric vehicle. Advertising a 330-mile range, which there's no shot that anybody driving that car is getting 330 miles of range out of it.
Yeah, we'll see. That feels like kind of the number you have to hit in order to have a modern EV CUV four-door thing, is you kind of have to be around that 320, 330 miles of range
Until
to be
you put it into
respectable.
not eco mode and it gets 90.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you could do that with a regular Ferrari too, actually.
Yeah, probably. Or less, yeah.
Watch me drain the gas
Tell me
tank
the
on my
F40 gets less than 10 miles per gallon.
on my F12.
Also, we've got the Rivian R2 coming out, which Ben knows more about.
I've been kind of watching the R2, because eventually I will have children. Lucky the world.
Crazy Ben.
Congratulations, the world. I will reproduce.
There will be more Bens.
And I love our Honda Clarity, and it actually has really great headroom and legroom, but I already have back problems from farming as a teenager. You know, that one injury that you can point to where it all went downhill. And
I've got multiple of those.
yeah, like bending over to try and install a car seat, I have already found transporting other people's children in the car is not very fun. And it will be very difficult to go back to a pure gas burning car after owning a plug-in hybrid.
Yeah.
It's because, I don't know, it just feels kind of wasteful, you know? And it's really nice not having to use fuel. So I'm really hoping Honda pulls through on their new hybrid powertrains for the Passport and Pilot. That'll be my first choice, depending on price. But the R2 is kind of something I've been looking at as like a full electric. If I want to take the jump, that's Rivian's probably, like, out of all the pure electric brands, Rivian is probably the most successful, has it figured out brand.
Yeah.
And the R2 seems kind of like a sweet spot. So I've been kind of watching it. I think the R3X looks really cool, like the Lancia Stradale styled little crossover thing that they're coming out with after. But yeah, I've been watching the R2. It actually looks really good. So far the reviews seem to be pretty positive, and it's much simpler than the R1 and R1T.
Yeah.
They don't have like the fancy adaptive air suspension or anything like that. It's just standard dampers, just tuning and all that. So
it's a car.
it is car.
It is car. Good.
Yeah.
I like cars that are just cars. That's
yeah.
That sounds stupid, but I think once you start getting crazy fancy, like, it gets cool for once in a while, but like there's also something to be said about a car that is a car.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I love having air suspension in my Ram 1500. I have already resigned myself to the fact that eventually the truck will no longer go up or down.
Yeah, that is the problem.
And that is when it will all be over.
You have a static truck there.
Yeah, it'll be in entry exit mode all the time with the 3-inch drop.
Ooh.
It'll be slammed. It'll look so cool.
You're gonna camber out the wheels too.
Yeah, on my 275/65 R20s. Yeah. That does bring me to the next vehicles that are coming up. I'm so good at these, dude.
You're getting there, Ben.
I'm getting there. I actually put a deposit. Have I told you that I have a deposit down on it used to be the Ram Charger, but now it's been renamed the REV because Ram's no longer making the electric car or the electric truck.
You have not told me this.
Oh yeah, so I have like it's like just the $100 put me in line for one.
Yeah.
For the Ram REV, which is the range extended electric truck that Ram's coming out with, which is supposed to have like 150 miles of EV range and then a 27-gallon fuel tank and the good old Pentastar V6 as a range extender. So it's supposed to go like 700 miles on a full tank of gas and a full charge, which is perfect because I could commute to and from work on electricity.
Yeah.
For super cheap. But then if I want to go out to the boondocks or drive up to Spokane or something like that, or down to Klamath Falls, I don't have to stop for an hour or 3 hours or how long it takes to recharge. I can just keep going.
Yeah, that's cool. That's real.
So it looks really cool. The downsides, and I hate this, another rant subject, I hate about modern half-ton trucks. They're not putting long beds on them anymore. If you don't want at least a 6.5-foot bed, get an SUV with a trailer. I don't know what to tell you.
Fair.
So,
all right.
And then along with that, Ford is replacing the electric Lightning with a similarly set up plug-in hybrid, and I'm also interested in that because maybe they will have a long bed, but who knows?
Maybe, yeah. All right, and that will round off our automotive news for this first episode.
Breathe.
Good stuff. We will go into racing now. Ben, do you want to check to see if we're still recording?
Oh yeah, that'd be a good idea.
We're at 25 minutes
I
now.
think we're gonna do segments. So I'm actually gonna have like cuts between everything.
Oh, we are still recording.
Are we?
That's sick as
What
fuck.
is how long does it say? I want to make sure it goes past 30 minutes.
It says we have 10 hours of recording left.
Okay. Are we
We're at 26 minutes right now.
26? Okay.
So that matches up with the Audacity pretty good.
Okay. Hopefully it keeps recording past 30 minutes.
It should be much less prone to overheating than
No,
the phone.
no, I just mean like you're sure it's not like a regular DSLR that has the 30-minute limit?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
I made sure because I was also worried about that with the camera.
Yeah.
But
All right.
otherwise we would have gotten a Canon for like $100.
Right. Yeah. All right.
Anywho,
Moving into our racing segment and IndyCar. Let's go through the IndyCar drivers. We will do this once. I know I said we would not be reading a bunch of names, but might as well, first episode, get that out of the way.
traditions.
Traditions. For AJ Foyt Enterprises, with the Chevy engines, we've got Kyle Collette, the rookie from, I believe he was in F2 last year. He was in one of the Formula Series. He might have actually gone to Indy Lights the year before that. I think he was in Indy Lights last year, actually.
I did not watch Indy Lights. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I didn't either.
I watched them when I go to the racetrack. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But
And then Santino Ferrucci also for AJ Foyt. Our boy. Sort of.
wait, is he really? Can I have a different boy?
We know who your boy is, but and he's not in IndyCar this year.
Can I pick a new boy?
You can pick a new boy.
Yes.
Who's gonna be? Actually, let's read through all the names and then you can
Yes.
choose your fanboy target.
I'll like snap or whistle, make a bird call when my boy comes past.
Andretti Global with the Honda engines. We got Will Power, big change this year. Kyle Kirkwood and Marcus Ericsson. Arrow McLaren with the Chevy engines. Pato Award, Nolan Siegel, Christian Lundgaard. And for the Indy 500, Ryan Hunter-Ray will be piloting a car. Chip Ganassi with the Honda engines. We got Kiffin Simpson, Scott Dixon, and Alex Palou. Dale Coyne Racing with the Honda engines. Roman Grosjean and Dennis Hauger, who was, I think, the Indy Lights champion last year after coming from F2.
Somehow the Grosjean has returned.
Yes. Also, both of them did very well in the race.
They did actually, yeah.
They
I was
did, yeah.
really impressed with Hauger.
Yeah. For Dreyer and Rainbolt Racing with the Chevy engines for only the Indy 500, Jack Harvey will be putting down the microphone and jumping in the car.
I've actually really been liking him on the pit wall.
He's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. For Ed Carpenter Racing with the Chevy engines, we got Alexander Rossi and Christian Rasmussen with Ed Carpenter himself jumping into a car for the Indy 500.
Attaboy.
Hunkos Hollinger Racing with the Chevy engines, Renus VK and Stingray Rob. Boy, what a team they've managed to put together this year.
Honestly, probably the least controversial team they've had in a while.
Fair, yeah. We're back. I think we
Indeed.
talked about Renus VK and Stingray Rob very briefly.
The least controversial Juncos Hollinger
Yes.
matchup we've had in a long time.
Meyer Shank Racing with the Honda engines. We got Helio Castro Neves for the Indy 500, and then Felix Rosenqvist and Marcus Armstrong. Ray Hall, Letterman Lanigan Racing with the Honda engines. Graham Ray Hall, Louis Foster, and Mick Schumacher, the rookie from World Endurance, I guess.
From World Endurance, is that where he's from?
He did last time. He's from somewhere.
Yeah. It really sounds familiar.
Yeah. Team Penske with the Chevy engines, Joseph Newgarden, Scott McLaughlin, and David Malukas taking over Will Power's number 12 car. Moving into our predictions for IndyCar, total different race winners. What did you say, Ben?
I said total different race winners would be 5.
5. I said 6.
Bullish.
Total. Okay, Ben. Total DNFs. What did you say, Ben?
I only had 50.
I said 62. We're both down from last year, I think. So.
Yeah. Well, I think last year did we overshoot last year?
Maybe a little bit. Yeah. I don't know. Driver with the most DNFs. What did you say?
Grosjean is back, so I gotta say Grosjean.
Gotta say Grosjean. I have Schumacher. This obviously is being recorded after the St. Pete Grand Prix, but these predictions were made before the St. Pete Grand Prix.
Yes.
So I nailed it. I was very happy to see Schumacher on the wall. Actually,
Hey, it wasn't.
not really.
It wasn't his fault.
No, it was not.
Ferrucci crashed him.
Yeah, well, and then guess who crashed into Ferrucci? Our boy Stingray Rob, who I'm
Classic.
shocked neither of us said that
Yeah.
for this. Driver with the most pole positions. What'd you say?
I have Will Power for this. This is kind of a shot in the dark. I feel like Andretti's a pretty fast team, and Power is a fairly fast driver. At least he was before the fall of Penske.
Yeah,
So I'm kind of going out on a limb with this one, but we'll see.
we'll see. Driver with the most pole positions. I said Pato O'Ward. Because maybe this is his year.
Maybe.
Heard it
Yeah.
was your boy. O'Ward is my boy.
Hmm.
Most consistent driver. What'd you say?
I'm putting Scott Dixon for this.
I have Alex Palou.
Yep.
Least consistent driver. What'd you say?
Lundgaard. I think he has the capacity to do really well, but then I think he will also potentially do mediocre sometimes.
Yep, that's kind of what he's been doing. I have Roman Grosjean because I think he's also
Ooh.
going to have some good
Nice.
results and then a lot of bad results. So, driver with the most wins. What'd you say, Ben?
I'm gonna say McLaughlin for this one.
Good call. I've got Stingray Rob. No, I'm kidding. Alex Palou. I have with
Yeah.
the most wins. And then our champion,
Let's say it together.
Alex,
is Alex
Palou.
Palou.
Yep,
Yeah.
of course.
I'm glad we got that out of the way. Anyways.
All right, moving into the race that just took place this last week in St. Petersburg, Florida. For qualifying, McLaughlin was on pole. In the race, it was very much a strategy race with Palou finishing miles ahead of everybody else, as per usual. There were some good battles in the middle of the race between Ericsson, McLaughlin, and Lundgaard fighting for the podium positions. Ultimately, Ericsson kind of fell back just due to strategy problems.
Yeah. The only
it's a
reliable Andretti.
skill issue. No. And then Joseph Newgarden also had a great comeback drive, which was fun to watch. He started way back there in like either the low teens or
I think he
high teens or low
started
20s.
23rd or something like that.
Something like that. and
Worked
ended
it up
up
to 7th.
finishing 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good stuff. Alex Palou, of course, came in first with McLaughlin and Lundgaard running off the podium.
Yeah.
Standings are going to be the finishing order, so you can go look that up if you are so curious. Talking points, Palou is so back.
Yep.
IndyCar is so back. It's all the same.
Just like we left it, just like we love it.
Yep, we were kind of hoping, but like no regulation changes. Alex Palou is still Alex Palou.
Yeah, he's
Yep.
still there. The announcers are straight up just like, yeah, he's all the cars are the same, the tracks are the same, the tires are the same. It's literally he's just him.
He's just him, and
He's
he
the
doesn't
best
have.
IndyCar driver in the world.
He
at
no
this
longer
point.
has a lawsuit hanging over his head.
Yeah.
Like, he's only gonna get better.
his wallet slider, so he's even faster.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
Yep. Yep. So that's IndyCar. Let's break away from racing for a second to
Ooh.
let Ben do his weekly rant.
Another rant. Okay. Yeah. So this is. How do I introduce this? I don't want to call people out, but
Don't call people out.
very often, in my community at church, in my friend group, even among the car guys in my friend group, I'm the car guy of the friend group. And I get,
That tracks.
it's my special interest. I get called upon to give recommendations or opinions on various vehicles that people are looking to buy, especially as families expand, stuff like that. It brings me back to the 3-row midsize segment. And a friend of mine did actually reach out and ask, and they're a fairly like outdoorsy family, they don't really go on any difficult trailheads right now. They own like 2 sedans, and that's not enough for having 2 kids and being pretty active. They both like backpacking and stuff like that, going places. So they're looking for a 3-row SUV because, if you have 2 kids, you want to be able to have each of your kids bring a friend along with them if you go somewhere in your car. It gives you lots of space for strollers and whatnot. So they're looking for that. And I realized that like aesthetics are so important to people when they're buying cars over everything else, and like the image.
Yeah. It's very true in the US especially.
Yes, especially in the US. There's a lot of stigma, a lot of tribalism. That's a good word for it, actually, around different cars.
Yeah.
And I recommend, Honda Pilot, great car, fast enough. It's not slow. It's fast enough to be safe.
Yep.
Reliable, easy to drive, loads of space. There's no learning curve for learning how to drive it. It drives like a car, so it'll be quiet. That's one thing that I think is undervalued in modern cars. Like, cars are loud, especially like a lot of cars that are packed with technology but are kind of on the cheaper end, like a lot of the crossovers.
Yeah.
Are loud inside. They don't have very good suspension damping.
Yeah.
And they just have a lot of noise, vibration, harshness because that's not what people really focus on. But I think if you want to own a car for a long time, a car that is quiet and comfortable and composed will pay off huge later on because it'll make you want to keep the car for longer. You won't see a shiny new car and be like, wow, this one's so much quieter. I love my 2009 Taurus for that reason. It was an absolute vault. But yeah, I recommended like even a Volkswagen Atlas, kind of that realm. My wild card pick for them was a 2005 GX 470 for with under 200,000 miles. I think it was like 135,000 miles, and I thought that was pretty cool.
It's pretty sweet. Yeah.
They said it was ugly. I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
Can't argue with that one.
And then their reply back was a lifted Expedition that was blacked out. It had a 3-inch lift, oversized all-terrains. And I said, oh yeah, that'd be really cool. Like go on riding on trails together and like snow ventures and stuff like that. And she's like, yeah, we probably won't ever go on a trail or anything like that. It's really not the vehicle to get if you don't have anything to tow.
Yeah.
And you don't have anything to haul, and you're not planning on going off-roading at any point. And I wanted to get a little frustrated, but then I realized like that's just kind of what people are geared towards. They want like the biggest thing because that kind of means, safety and reliability and all that stuff. But there's so many different factors that have kind of fallen by the wayside over the past years for what people want in cars and what people need in cars. Is another reason like the Ridgeline is such a low seller, even though it's a great vehicle. I almost bought one, except for I have actual like truck stuff to do and I need a long bed.
Yeah.
So I just thought it's really interesting, the disconnect between what people actually need and what they would be happiest with versus what they imagine that they want, even if they know that they will never actually use the full capabilities. And I think part of it is that the capabilities of vehicles advertised is wildly overblown nowadays too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was interesting. Generally, the car that you think you need might actually be more than the car that you actually need, and that there's good ways to save money and maybe be happier in the long run if you're willing to swallow your pride or your self-image and get a car that is more practical. I think that's probably worth it more so than any image that you get from a car. That being said, I own a 1981 Corvette, and I have 2 dogs.
And this summer I'll be buying an A-Spec Integra.
Yeah. But that's another like swallowing your pride thing. Like you could buy a GR86 or like a cool 2-seater or something like that for the same price.
Yeah.
Or like a cool off-road truck and get the image.
If this was all about image and I had $40,000, I would absolutely buy like a used. I could probably buy a used Supra.
You could probably buy a used C7 Corvette, actually.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And that would be insanely fast and cool, but
no, I'm buying basically a Honda with a long warranty that's going to last me forever, and it's kind of like a Civic Si, but the insurance is cheaper and it's got Acura features.
Yeah.
So there's actually reasons I'm buying an Integra. Also, with SIs being marked up as much as they are, like I'm really not paying that much more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. But yes, I agree with you. People tend to buy because of how it looks. I'm actually the opposite, I think, because I was like cross shopping lightly used BMWs, and I'm like, I'm not showing up to work in a BMW. That's not. I'm not that guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And I don't know, maybe it's just a me thing, because I already have a truck, so I'm not as worried about having like the image of that. But
that's fair. Yeah.
That
Truck
the response to the lifted body on frame SUV with the off-road tires was probably won't ever take it on trails or anything like that. Kind of like, oh wow. Okay.
So you're okay. You do you, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, it's your money, and it's up to you to buy what makes you happiest, because happiness is also a factor. But
yeah,
I also think he'd be much happier with a quieter, more comfortable, easier to drive, easier to park, better gas mileage. Honestly, not that much less room inside. Easier to load kids into, lower cost of ownership vehicle.
Yeah.
Later on. That's honestly better in the rain and snow, because all-wheel drive doesn't have to be stopped and locked or something like that. All-wheel drive, you just go, and if it detects slip, it gives power to other wheels. And all-wheel drive system's gotten really good for on-roading. Like, if you're not rock crawling, all-wheel drive is what you need. I don't even know if I'd really recommend a four-wheel drive car over an all-wheel drive car unless you specifically went like off-road. Hard off-road.
Yeah, no, for sure. I guess I say that I'm buying an Integra. I'm still looking. Man.
Nothing's set in stone yet, but they are pretty cool. I did see one driving past, and at night with those rear lights,
they look
the cool
so
swoop
good.
And all. Yeah, they look good. They're kind of under the radar still.
No one knows about them, really.
Yeah.
Integras are still like, they're not what they used to be, and so people haven't really paid attention to them, but they're actually pretty sweet. They're like Civics but better. So yeah, that's fun. I'm also looking at WRXs because there is still a child inside of me somewhere.
I'm sorry. The old I have to buy a car but the engine will explode 100,000 miles down the road.
It's not as bad anymore, Ben.
RX-8 the sequel.
Don't say that. I will not end up in a Subaru, but I want to. Okay. That will round off that segment. Let's start talking about Formula One.
Indeed. We do have things to discuss.
Formula One. We're so back.
We're so back. Or is it?
A week, yeah. No, it'll be back on Sunday. On Sunday it'll be back. That's kind of crazy, though.
Yeah.
We're so almost back. Let's go through the driver list real quick. For Alpine, we got Pierre Gasly and Franco Colapinto. I'm about to sneeze, so Ben, why don't you keep going with this?
For Aston Martin, we have Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll, same as last year. We have Williams with the same lineup as last year, Albon and Carlos Sainz Jr. First new team, in air quotes, new team. What used to be Kick Sauber,
yeah.
Is now Audi Revolut Formula One team. So Audi has taken full ownership of the team, I believe. I think they're at least majority owners.
Yeah.
It's their name on the side of the car, and their livery is not quite as cool as I thought it would be. But they still have, they have Gabriel Bortoleto and Nico Hülkenberg. Very exciting to see Nico at there, because I think he'll actually do pretty well based on last year, hopefully with a little more funding behind the team, a little more technical know-how.
We'll see. I think Audi has a shot to be pretty solid, much more than Cadillac, that's for sure.
Yeah, I really hope so, because I can't stand to see another Kick Sauber masterclass.
Yeah.
Second new team, the Cadillac Formula One team, running Ferrari engines and transmissions and some other Ferrari stuff.
Lots of Ferrari stuff. Until GM is able to develop their motor. They've named their car the Mach 26 for Michael Andretti car, I think, or Mario. Yeah, Mario
something
Andretti.
as like a big middle finger to the FIA, which I think is funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah.
Their drivers are Sergio Perez and Valtteri Bottas, the most second drivers who've ever second drivered. But I'm excited to see how they do. I think they'll at least be very entertaining to watch, and I think it's a good like publicity move for them.
Yeah.
Lots of positive sentiment behind both those drivers. After that, we have the Ferrari team, Ferrari HP. It's funny to say. They're still rocking the Leclerc-Hamilton combo that we saw last year. After that, we have the TGR, Toyota Gazoo Racing. Brought them up again. Haas F1 team. TGR is now a main sponsor and technical partner for Haas.
Yep.
So Haas actually is a simulator now.
Nice.
Crazy.
Love that.
And the backing of Toyota, who has taken a shot in F1 before. That didn't go super well for them, but they have a lot of other racing experience. So hopefully they can bring some of that forward.
Yeah.
They still have Esteban Ocon and Oliver Behrman as their driver seats. After that, we have the reigning champions, McLaren MasterCard F1 team. That's even funnier to say. With the same driver lineup of world champion Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. After that, we have the Mercedes-AMG Petronas factory team, sticking with Kimi Antonelli and George Russell. Following them, we have the Visa Cash App Racing Bulls F1 team.
V-Carb is so bad.
V-Carb, they're so back, yeah. They have Liam Lawson this year and a newcomer, Arvid Lindblad, from F2, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Very, very impressive up-and-comer.
Very, very impressive
He's
up-and-comer.
the next Verstappen is what they're saying. But they've said that about a lot of people.
Yeah, how many have they said that about?
He is actually very impressive, though.
And then we have Oracle Red Bull Racing with Max Verstappen and his new teammate, Isaac Hadjar. Hadjar actually did pretty well last season, so
Yep.
I'm interested to see what they do. If the Red Bull actually ends up being faster than the V-Carb this year at the start of the race.
This is the first Red Bull driver change that I 100% agree with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And how long? Ever?
Since I started watching in 2018.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Well, actually, I guess Ricardo left under his own volition, and I think Gasly was like a solid choice. It just didn't go well.
Yeah.
But past that, I think this is the first one where it's like, yeah, drop Tsunoda and put Hadjar in the car.
Oh, okay.
I get it.
See you later, Tsunoda.
No offense, Tsunoda, but I mean, you can pursue your dreams of being a chef now, right?
Of being a glorified media engine alongside Ricardo.
Oh, poor guy.
Weekend at Bernie's style.
Yeah.
You just pilot him around sometimes. Put him in a car that catches on fire.
That's
Tsunoda,
right.
please
Forgot
get in
about
the
that.
car. If you don't, Ricardo will have to do it.
Get it. All right.
They're coming out
So,
with a new Evangelion series. You know that?
a what?
New Evangelion series?
Did they?
They're going to.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Anyways,
Anyways.
I had like very quick neuron activation. I was like, oh, wow. Okay.
Season predictions. Constructors Championship, Ben. There are now 11 teams, which is weird.
It's going to take even longer to go through these.
Yep, by one.
By 3, because we have 2 extra drivers.
True.
We get to the
Yes.
Drivers' Championship. But I will go through them quickly.
Yes. Give me your 11 in order, Ben.
I've got Mercedes, McLaren, Ferrari, Williams, Red Bull, Alpine, Toro Rosso, Audi, Haas, Cadillac, and Aston Martin. Rounding out, I think Cadillac will do better than Aston Martin this year because they seem to be quite a mess, which obviously when your technical director is also your team principal, that will happen.
Mm-hmm.
I love Adrian Newey. I really enjoyed reading his autobiography, but I think maybe a little bit ambitious.
Yeah, that's a little much for one guy.
Notably, you also see Williams at 4th. Is this memeing? Will it actually happen?
Who knows?
Who knows? They seem to have I think they have one of the strongest driver lineups.
I do too.
And the fact that the Mercedes engine really has a shot, at least in the first half of the year before the FIA tries to change things, at being the best, most powerful engine on the grid
By a lot. Yeah.
gives them a really strong chance to have a leg up by summer break on the rest of the competition. And
Yeah.
I think even after, I think Mercedes still has a very strong chance of having the best engine.
Yeah. I think you're leaning into this Mercedes engine thing more than I am on my predictions, but I think that's actually correct. So I I'm already doubting my predictions, but they're already set. So here we go.
Yeah.
I've got Mercedes, McLaren, Ferrari, Red Bull, and Haas as my top 5. And then 6 through 11, I've got Audi, Aston Martin, RB, Williams, Alpine, and Cadillac. You really have Cadillac finishing ahead of Aston Martin?
Have you seen?
Aston Martin.
It's not good, but Cadillac's not much better.
At least they're getting testing in.
This is true. This is true.
And one of their drivers isn't Lance Stroll.
Yeah.
And one of their drivers isn't on suicide watch.
So, yeah, man, my Aston Martin in 7th is starting to... I'm really not liking that now. But
Ahead
they've
of
got
Williams even.
Yeah. Ooh.
We're locked in. We'll see. We each gotta land our own bed. I have Williams in 4th and you have Aston Martin in 7th. We'll see which one is.
It could be a crazy season.
Most
Remember
right,
that
yeah.
one year where Aston Martin was like the second best team in the first 3 races, and
Yeah.
then they just tailed off. And
I remember
nothing happened?
2022 when Ferrari was fighting for constructors and
Yeah.
driver championship with Red Bull.
I remember that too. Oh, those were the days.
Those were the days. That was the most exciting Australia race I'd ever seen.
Yep.
Anyways.
Drivers' Championship. Give me your 22, Ben.
All right, deep breath. Verstappen, Norris, Russell, Piastri, Antonelli, Leclerc, Sainz, Hamilton, Albon, Hulkenberg, Hadjar, Behrman, Gasly, Perez, Bortoleto, Lawson, Ocon, Alonso. Did I put Alonso twice? No, we're good. Bottas, Stroll, Lindblad, and Colapinto. Notably, I will call out a few of the crazy things. Is Verstappen coming in first in Drivers' Championship this year? Crazy? Probably, yes. Follow-up, is Perez coming in 14th in a Cadillac? Also crazy, yes. I think that's about it, actually.
That's most of the craziness, yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's
so.
not actually that crazy when I look at it.
I've got Russell winning the championship, followed by Piastri, Norris, Verstappen, and Antonelli in my top 5. 6 through 10 are Leclerc, Hamilton, Behrman, Hulkenberg, and Ocon. 11 through 15, I've got Alonso, Hadjar, Bortoleto, Lindblad, and Stroll. 16 through 20, I've got Lawson, Gasly, Albon, Sainz, and Bottas. And 21st and 22nd, I've got Perez and Colapinto.
I like how we both have Colapinto at dead bottom.
He has yet to score a point. So.
Yeah. We also have...
Actually, he did in Williams a couple years
we
ago.
have Hulkenberg really close, too, actually.
Hulkenberg,
yeah,
yep, 9th and 10th. I've got Behrman doing quite a bit better than you do, but
Ooh,
I guess I'm higher on Haas than you are. I've
Yeah.
got Haas finishing 5th.
Man,
So.
I have Sainz in 7th. You have him 19th. That's
Oof.
brutal.
Yeah,
Where do you
that's-
put Albon?
that's different.
18th?
18th.
Okay.
You've
I
got
put
him in 9th.
Yeah, I'm really banking on the Williams car being not a rocket ship, but at least the 3rd fastest Mercedes engine car on the grid, which I think will still be faster than a lot of other cars on the grid.
Yeah. We'll see. There's we're gonna find out a lot, I think, this week.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
I'm gonna be on falling to my knees in the living room as I watch Williams have the slowest car by far.
Yeah, I don't think they'll have the slowest car, but it's gonna be the slowest is either gonna be Cadillac or Aston Martin, probably. All right, total safety cars and virtual safety cars. Wow. What do you got, Ben?
I've got 40.
I've got 30.
There's 24 races this year.
There were only 27 last year.
Yeah, that's
However, there are new engines.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
what
there
I
you
was
go,
thinking.
Ben. That's right.
that's. I'm actually very smart.
New
you
regs.
see.
Yeah, new regs.
Regs. I saw Red
Couple
Bull
of
2022.
rookies. Yeah, right, exactly. Most fastest laps. What do you got, Ben?
George Russell.
I have Verstappen. Total different race winners.
I have 8.
I've got 7. You are more bullish than I am.
Yeah, I think it's funny how it's flip-flopped from IndyCar to F1
Yep.
in the past 3 years.
Yes.
This was a number that I had for a number of IndyCar drivers in 2022, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And yeah, I don't think that's going to be happening, brother.
No. What's next? Fastest pit stop team. What do you got?
McLaren was fastest last year, I think.
I think
And I think they'll be fastest this year.
I've got Ferrari because Ferrari was overall the best last year. Total DNFs, what do you got?
I got 62.
I've got 76, which is weird. You've got way more safety cars, and I've got way more DNFs. Team with the most DNFs?
Aston Martin.
Probably a good call. I've got RB because of the Ford engines.
Yes. Well, that's bold of you to think that Ford is contributing that much to the Red Bull engine program this year.
That's also true, yeah. Driver with the most pole positions, what do you got?
I've got Max Verstappen.
I have George Russell. Most consistent driver.
George Russell.
I've got Piastri. Least consistent driver.
Charles Leclerc. I think the combination of Charles Leclerc being a fairly inconsistent driver and the Ferrari being a fairly inconsistent car and the Ferrari team being a fairly inconsistent pit wall really sets up a perfect storm for him to have the highest highs and just the lowest
Got
lows.
that Italian reliability.
Yeah.
I love how we're making reliability jokes about literally everybody right now except for Mercedes, which is kind of funny. But
like you were saying, we could watch the first race and then just be completely wrong.
All of the Mercedes engines explode.
Yeah, there'll be too high compression.
Yeah. All the compression and then none of the compression. Yeah. What did I say? Least consistent driver, I said Hadjar. Which, yeah.
Fair.
Most consistent team, what do you got?
I have Williams.
Wow.
Listen, they're either going to be consistently good or consistently bad, and either way, I've got to hedge that bet.
Okay. I've got McLaren.
Okay.
Least consistent team, what do you got?
Ferrari.
I have Red Bull.
Ooh.
Yes. Because they've got Verstappen and Hadjar.
Excellent.
So, grab bag prediction time. We did this last year. Ben, we've got 3 each. Give me your 3 random F1 adjacent predictions.
I think in 2027, these are my 3 predictions. Spa will be gone, Max Verstappen will be gone, and Adrian Newey will be gone.
Wow.
All for next year.
It's crazy. I bet one of those, at least one of those.
Which one do you think is the least likely?
Least likely? See, it's crazy because I think all of these are very possible. Just all 3 of them happening is... I think Spa is the most likely. I think
most
that's
likely to leave.
almost guaranteed.
Yeah.
I think the least likely of these 3 is Verstappen being gone in 2027.
Because I think Adrian Newey leaving is the least likely.
Have you seen the turnover at Aston Martin? I think it is more likely Adrian Newey is gone after this year than Verstappen.
That's
but
impressive.
I think either of those are very possible. So I almost said in my predictions in the next segment that Verstappen would be gone, but I didn't. So I don't know. We'll see. It's very close, but I like them. I like these predictions. My predictions. Number 1, Cadillac scores more than 0 but less than 10 points this season.
Okay, fair.
Audi is on the podium this year 1.
Wow. Who do you think it'll be on the podium?
Hülkenberg.
You think Hülkenberg will get his 2nd ever podium?
Yes.
Crazy.
Yep. Red Bull engine reliability will cost Verstappen at least 1 win, and the stipulation there is it has to be he was going to win that race if the engine didn't blow up.
Like 13 seconds ahead.
He's got at least a 10-second lead with 5 laps left or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yep. So that is our grab bag prediction segment. Let's move on to our 2027 driver lineup prediction, which we actually did this last year, and then I forgot to put it on the script, so it never actually made it into the episode.
Excellent.
So, Ben, for McLaren, who do you think it's going to be?
I think it'll be still Norris and Piastri.
Okay. I also have Norris
we're in
and
agreement on
Piastri.
that.
Let's just go through until something changes. So Ferrari,
Yes.
we've got the same.
Yep.
Red Bull is where things start getting spicy. What do you got, Ben?
I think branching off of my Verstappen retirement, I think it's going to be Hadjar, and I think Ricciardo makes a comeback.
Oh man. Okay.
Because
Hadjar Ricciardo.
I should preface this. I know very little about F2, and even though Colton Herta is in F2, I honestly doubt that I'll spend the extra time
to
to watch the F2 races.
Yeah.
But I think it's not a non-zero chance.
Yeah. It's not non-zero. It's not a 0%
It's a.
chance.
I
It's
think it is a
chance.
non-zero.
Yes.
Yes, that's what I meant. Yeah,
That's right.
It is a non-zero chance.
I have the lineup staying the same with Verstappen and Hadjar.
Okay.
Mercedes, we were
That's
both the same.
Yeah.
Aston Martin is where things start to split off again.
Yes.
What do you got?
I have Stroll and Bottas.
Okay. I've got Tsunoda and Stroll. So both of
Wow.
us predicting Alonso being gone.
You see Red Bull letting go Tsunoda to go to Aston Martin.
They did it with Albon, so
Fair.
why not?
I guess he does have that Honda connection.
Yeah, exactly. Alpine, I had a change. So you say Gasly Colapinto again?
Yep.
I have Gasly and Kushmini from F2 because he's an Alpine Academy driver, and he's been doing pretty well the last couple years. Haas, what do you got?
I've got staying the same, Behrman and Ocon.
Behrman and Ocon. I've got Miata and Behrman. I think Behrman will do well enough to stay. I think they're going to move on from Ocon and bring in Miata from F2 as well. I think I've got a lot of F2 drivers coming up this year.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Probably not going to happen, but we'll see. RB, what do you got?
I've got Tsunoda and Lindblad. I
Yeah.
think Tsunoda comes back to fill the hole.
Yeah,
And I think Lindblad stays because maybe he does well. And I think Lawson is out.
I think we are in agreement on Lawson being toast at the end of this year.
Yeah.
I've got Lindblad and Alex Dunn. Alex Dunn being like superstar up and comer, kind of like Lindblad.
Oh,
But,
okay.
He was supposed to go to McLaren, but I don't think McLaren's gonna bring in anybody new anytime soon. So I think he'll go to RB. Williams, what do you got?
What if Alonso wasn't gone? He just changed teams. What if it was Albon and Alonso Williams? What if Sainz leaves because Bortoleto doesn't perform how they want him to? So he goes. We'll talk about where Sainz goes after, but Sainz is gone.
Okay.
Alonso comes in because he's almost at retirement age anyways, and he's tired of having to deal with flaky engines and Aston Martin like not meeting expectations over and over again.
So he's going to Williams?
He wants to go to a historic team and just finish out his career at a team like he hasn't raced for Williams before.
Yeah,
It's like
one of the only teams he hasn't
like a
raced
bucket
for.
list at this point.
Yeah.
Like he goes out at Williams, he gets to hang out with like cool history and cars that look cool and aren't awful. Like
Yeah.
they're at least pretty consistent. Albon is also a pretty good driver, so like
It's got to be a better environment than Aston Martin, I would say, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. So that's my guess.
Yeah, I've got Albon and Sainz again next
Okay.
year. Audi, what do you got,
Yeah,
Ben?
so then Audi becomes Hülkenberg and Sainz, which is kind of what people were predicting last year.
Yeah, that was going to happen, and then it all kind of fell apart, and he went to Williams.
Yeah, so I think if Audi does well enough, but Bortoleto does bad enough,
Yeah,
that Bortoleto's out, and then Sainz is like, here's my chance.
I could see that happening.
Hülkenberg can't be in here much longer,
Yeah.
so maybe this is my chance to be number one driver for a big team.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I've got Hülkenberg and Bottas. Both of us have Bortoleto falling off.
Yep.
And Bottas is only there because he will no longer be at Cadillac, which both of us have predicted.
Yes.
Cadillac, what'd you say, Ben?
I've got Perez and Herta.
I also have Perez and Herta.
Yeah, I
It's
think
only inevitable that Colton Herta will end up in Cadillac at some point.
Yeah. He wouldn't have left IndyCar to do F2 if he didn't have I would say, a guarantee
Yeah,
of
exactly.
a seat at Cadillac.
Yep.
And Perez, I think, is absolutely a good enough driver on merit to stay there. I think he probably has the edge on Bottas.
I think between him having a good enough drive to stay there, I do think Bottas will give him a run for his money. I think it'll be close between the two for who does better in the car. Perez, I think, brings a lot more money than Bottas does.
Also
Plus,
true,
he's got
yeah.
the North American-Mexican connection.
Yep.
So I think he's
Image-wise.
he's got a lot more reason to be at Cadillac than Bottas does.
Yep.
From Cadillac's point of view.
Yeah.
So, Perez and Herta, I think that's almost guaranteed. Yeah. So, let's go through our predictions real fast. We will do that coming up on the next segment. Moving into our predictions. Ben, upcoming this week, we've got IndyCar on Saturday at the Phoenix Raceway.
Thanks for reminding me. I actually would have forgotten.
Yes, yeah. So, Super Speedway in Arizona. Hot temperatures, most likely, because Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And oval, because oval.
Yes.
So,
Super Speedway oval at that.
who do you got on pole position, Ben?
I've got Malukas. He actually impressed me during the race at St. Pete.
Yep.
And Penske, even at their worst, is still an oval team. And I think he outspeeds Newgarden. I think Newgarden maybe is falling off a little bit. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Obviously, maybe it was just a slump that he was in last season. But I think Malukas is pretty fast, and I think he's at a good team to take advantage of the oval.
Well, with all that being said, I have Newgarden on pole position. I do think it's interesting. I think it'll be interesting to see where Newgarden, how he does this whole season. If he has another bad season, boy, he's gonna have trouble keeping that seat in Penske.
Off to WEC with you.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I don't
bud.
know. Probably. I mean, I think he'd be fun to watch in WEC, honestly.
I think it'd be fun to watch in Truck Series, honestly.
That too. Yeah.
Him and Hinchcliffe racing.
Hinchcliffe,
That'd
yeah,
be so funny.
That'd be awesome. Podium. What do you got, Ben?
I've got Malukas, Pillow, and Lundgaard because I also think Lundgaard is looking fast, and I'm interested to see how he does on ovals. I think he has probably the best oval. Well, no, Pado's also really. I want to give him a chance. I want to see. I think there is a non-zero chance
Yeah.
that he's on podium.
Okay. I've got Newgarden, Pillow, and Rasmussen as my
Ooh.
podium. Yeah. Because
The new-
Rasmussen proved himself to be pretty good on ovals
New
last
oval
year.
boy, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, we never actually chose your new boy.
Oh yeah, I think it's Rasmussen.
You think it's Rasmussen? That's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like him.
He is a cool guy. Yeah. Winning number of pit stops for this race. What do you got?
Maybe 3.
Yep, and I've got maybe 2 because I don't
Who's
think
to say?
Who knows? Yeah. Formula One predictions for Australia.
Australia, mate.
Australia. Give me your top 5, Ben.
I've got Verstappen, Norris, Russell, Leclerc, and Piastri. I've got Sainz as my dark horse. Go Williams.
Yes. I've got Russell, Piastri, Verstappen, Norris, and Hamilton with Hülkenberg as my dark horse. And I think we will be changing dark horse in the future. I just forgot to actually do that change
Yeah.
this week.
One last gasp.
One
for the
last
dark
gasp.
horse, yeah. It will soon become the person who you least want to win.
Don't think that, but yeah. Fastest lap, what do you got, Ben?
I've got Lando Norris.
And I've got Verstappen, driver of the day.
I've got Verstappen.
And I have Hülkenberg.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right. Ben, let's hear about your project car.
Yes, I'll try to go quickly because we are running out of time.
Yes.
It's getting a little bit cold in the studio, actually.
And it's getting a
Temperature is dropping.
Yes.
So far, I took the front wheels off of the Corvette. I had to buy a breaker bar because I forgot that I didn't own a breaker bar. And you find that out really quickly when you try to take the wheels off of a old car.
Yep.
I took the wheels off. The front calipers are the pads are rubbing. The pistons aren't receding all the way in the calipers, so I probably need to swap out the calipers for some remanufactured ones. I don't think I'll go new Willwoods or anything like that because, goodness gracious, they're a lot of money. And I'm trying to do this as cost effectively as possible.
Yep.
And then also before that, probably the steering ram and the steering power steering control valve need to be replaced. They're both actively leaking, and the reservoir is completely dry. So I'll probably need to replace that. I'm not sure if I need to replace the pump yet. I need to fill it with power steering fluid before I can figure that out.
Yeah.
But it definitely has felt a little loosey-goosey on the roads above 30 miles an hour.
That's not good.
And that's probably due to that. There are upgrades you can do to replace it with like a Borgson all-in-one steering box. But that's, again, very expensive. So I think I'll probably just stick with replacing like parts for like and come back to it later. But yeah, right now it's brakes and steering. Both very important things.
Yep.
Kind of checking off the list of things that it needs to drive comfortably for longer distances. I think after that, probably a battery disconnect switch is the next easy install because that thing will drain a battery in about, an overnight stay, and it will be completely dead. So
yeah, that tracks. Cool. We are bringing in a new segment called Car Spots of the Week. We see cool cars and we drive around in our cool cars. My Honda CR-V being my current cool car.
hey, those are cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a fun way to talk about cars that aren't like maybe super flashy, but
Yeah.
we live in Eugene, Oregon, so
Yeah, there's not as much of a car culture.
it kind of forces you to
out
reach
here.
out for the kind of niche stuff.
Yep. Yeah, so what cool car did you see this week, Ben?
It's it's just started popping up, so I don't know if somebody's recently bought it, but at work in the parking lot, there is a beautiful black Porsche 944 in the parking lot that I've been noticing. The paint's actually really nice on it.
Nice.
It just has a great stance. It looks like it's fully stock still.
One of my favorite cars of all time.
It's pretty cool. I think they're still underrated.
Oh, they're so good. I almost owned one, but then it got sold out from under me, and I bought an RX-8 instead.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that would have been better or worse, actually.
They both would have been money pits, but that would have been such a, I would have felt so great driving that thing.
You could almost justify keeping it as a classic car.
Yeah. I, this week, saw a BMW i8 at my local coffee shop. That was kind of a spot.
I would unironically own a BMW i8. I
No,
think they're
we talked
really cool.
about this.
Yeah.
I would not. You couldn't pay me to own a BMW i8.
I mean,
But they look so cool,
Yeah.
and they've got scissor doors.
it's scissor doors. It's still faster than my Corvette.
Yep.
You just feel cool driving it everywhere. You get great gas mileage.
You do?
Yeah.
You do? You get like 200 horsepower?
You get like 300 horsepower.
Is it 300?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a plug-in electric, so you get like 15 miles of range.
One of the OG plug-in electrics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they're pretty cool.
Yeah, they are
I think
cool.
the design
would
is
just
aged
never
really
own
well.
one. They look really good.
Every single time you parked it, it would be the car that you like look back at and you're like,
That's the car
that's
I own.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my car. Yeah. So, yep, those are our cool cars we saw this week. Let's wrap this up and get out of here because we've been here for probably at least an hour and a half. Almost.
Yeah.
So, after saying that we were going to wrap this in 40 minutes, it's been double that. But thank you everybody so much for watching and listening to this episode. If you enjoyed it, leave a like or rating on the platform you listen on. It really helps us out. Subscribe or follow if you'd like to see more. If you want updated standings for IndyCar and F1 or a calendar of upcoming racing, check out our website, RevHang.com. It may not be fully updated by the time this episode airs, but I will do my best. If you have a question about racing or about us, hit us up on any socials in comments or DMs, and we may feature your question on the next show. You can follow Ben on Instagram at BenjiMeetsWorld and myself at 2n_squared. None of that has changed. You can follow the RevHang page on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and even TikTok at RevHang Media. Hopefully we'll be posting some podcast clips and Ben working on his car things in the future. While we get all this figured out, we'll try to ramp things up a little bit more once we get a system down.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, we'll be back in a week to talk about the start of the F1 season in Australia. But until then, I've been Nathan.
And I'm Ben.
Thanks for hanging out.
See you later.